Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to patch 4.3. Valley of Victory is going to be available this patch, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Joining me on the set is Chuck from the art team, as well as Tina and AJ from the design team as well. How you all doing today?
Great.
You okay, Chuck?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Just making sure, a little bit concerned there. So for you guys at home, you're interested in what's going on today, we're going to start things off where we always do with skin content. And the first skin is Let the Heavens Rave. Yes, Zeus
Oh, yeah.
is finally
Yes.
here in all his glory. Chuck, I
Look
believe
at that.
this was a community request that we finally did, right?
It is. It is. That's exactly what it is.
And so why did it take so freaking long for it to happen?
You know, we have a whole schedule of things that determine when we need what.
It is. It's a
So
complicated
it's
process.
a complicated process.
But right now is rave time.
Yes, it is.
That's the key. And here he is in all his glory in game right now. He
He's
looks
got his
amazing.
own fog machine. He's got his ground effects shoes.
Are they bubbles coming off?
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
He's got light tube technology.
Man, it takes me all the way back
He's
to the 90s
got pulsating
right now.
headphones. I mean,
Jamming.
The sunglasses as well.
Right.
Oh, look at that shield.
as a note, we almost went with young Zeus, but DJing out the beard was way funnier.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know,
yeah.
man.
Listen,
Middle-aged
Zeus,
Zeus.
Zeus has been raving for years already, okay? So he should be a little bit older by now, in my opinion.
The beard is just a key part of Zeus as a god, you know? Can't cut that.
Well, let's have a
true.
Except
little
when we
look
made young Zeus, but shh.
at
Right.
some of the abilities involved in this as well. There's his basic attacks for you guys at home. Oh, he's so glowy on the ground.
The targeters, yeah. Targeters trying to change colors. Really nice.
Let's see if he hits a camp or something. He
Little
should.
ravey gradient. DJ Zeus, the logo.
The cool kids right now would be saying he's dropping the beat with those auto attacks.
I love the auto attack sound. It sounds great.
It does sound really good. Shield go down too?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
now,
Oh,
we're,
yeah.
now we're going.
I haven't actually heard this
Just
yet.
keep dropping that pawn over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So for you guys at home, when you're playing
Look
against
at
this
that
skin,
equalizer technology.
it's so cool.
It's so technicolor.
And the ultimate,
No, you're in a tight space. Go in an open space.
open space
Come
pawn.
on.
Come on.
Oh, gosh.
You don't want lightning storms in
Let's do it.
tight spaces.
Oh,
my
my
God.
god.
Like, I
Look
literally
at all
have not
that.
seen any of this skin. I've not seen any of the skins this patch, but all I saw was card art.
There's a whole scaffolding with lights and dance
Oh,
floor. And
yeah.
So bad. Look at that.
No shortage of effects. Was the slow loving by
That-
the effects team,
That
Mike.
was amazing.
Well done,
Yeah.
well done.
This is really well done. Well, let's move on to what Tina did in the part of this skin. I believe you were involved in some of the voice pack here.
Yes.
Tina, if this is bad, you know who to blame. If it's
Wait, you know
good,
what? No, listen, okay?
Okay.
It was really hard to channel my inner DJ, and I just went online and was like, man, how am I going to figure out this voice pack? And I just looked up shit DJ say.
Okay.
And
Stuff.
yeah,
Stuff,
it was,
yeah.
it was
Things
great.
DJs
I got
say.
a lot of stuff from it.
Let's
And you
see
held up
what
one finger.
poop things DJ Zeus says.
Yeah! Solid
Oh, man,
beats,
I had
yo.
to put some, you know, I had to put them in
This
there.
club is packed. Bro, I'm the headliner. Defend middle lane. Who do I look like? I don't take requests. I can make a sick remix out of your constant whining. Yo, your mixtape was trash. Everyone's going wild for dubstep. I'm dropping Godstep. Oh. Yeah! Yeah!
I don't know about the Godstep one. Come
I
on,
mean,
Tina.
of course it's got a bleep in it. It's Tina skin.
Yeah.
We need a bleeper for her all the
Oh,
time.
there's a bunch of bleeps in there.
Yo, isn't there a
Surprise.
special emote, Pawn?
Now, I was about to move on to that. There is a special Heavens Rave Zeus VXG already.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, there he goes. What?
Nice.
That was sick.
That's
this
going
will
to fill all those
Good.
slow moments
Also
of
come with the skin as
waiting
well.
for the match to start.
And that's
As
a look.
soon as the game loads in, before you buy any items, just hit that for your team, you know?
Get the dance tracks going.
Man,
overall.
I'm
That's
going to
the
have to
main
play
thing.
some Zeus now.
This is. I think a lot of people are going to be playing Zeus now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna ban it every rank game on purpose now. Not because he's OP, just because I don't want people to use the skin. That's all.
Well,
just to be annoying.
to troll him.
I
You
mean
are
like
such
that.
a nice, cuddly person.
That is
Too
me.
loud,
That
too.
is me. The cuddly part is correct. The rest is not. That's about it.
Obviously.
However, along with the Zeus new skin of the Heaven's Rave, he will also get some mastery updates as well for good old Zeusy boy.
As we
Have a
do,
look at those.
updating the gods that get other things with the standard things.
Yeah.
He's probably been here for
Yeah,
a while,
yeah.
right? Got masteries a long time ago. So
Look
this is gonna
how
look nice.
wet and sleek his male musculature is.
Well, he's in the middle of a
It's amazing.
thunderstorm, so.
He's like a seal.
I wish my grandpa looked like that.
Did we just come to seal?
Why? Oh, yeah.
And there's a golden version for you boys and girls at home to have a little look at that. And then we should also have the
Golden
legendary
bolts.
as well. And the
Oh,
diamond.
nice.
I'm still sad that I realized only too late after HRX that I need to dress up my dad as Zeus
Did your dad look like Zeus?
because
look like
he's a
Zeus?
Santa Claus. Yeah, so
I wasn't sure if you were saying
Santa
your dad-
Claus equals Zeus. I just need to make him a robe and
We
get
could
him an LED lightning bolt to hold.
Hire him as a featured cosplayer next year.
Amazing.
And there's a little look at those. You get a nice little 180 of that one up front
Yeah,
as well.
these look
with
great.
the diamonds on.
So much beef.
So much diamond as well.
I just want that Heaven's Rave music just playing the background of
Yeah,
the whole
right?
show. It's catchy.
Music theme.
Just leave it on.
Need to get
the
that
back. Yeah, that's a good point.
happening.
It needs to happen. Well, let's look at Zeus. Next up is going to be another new skin for Final Boss Thanatos.
Oh, yeah.
And in good fashion as well, he legit looks like a final boss that I've seen before in the past, that's for sure.
Yes.
Dark and sexy Thanatos.
He might remind you of
He's
many
so,
different final
he's
bosses.
so
dude.
For sure.
troubled. He's so troubled. He's damaged goods.
So angsty.
Yeah.
This one turned out so well, too.
He looks fantastic. I've not seen him in-game again, so I'm excited to see what he looks like in-game and in all his glory with his wings. The wings in the card look great, so hopefully it feels the same in-game, and it does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him. He's like, none of my girlfriends understand me.
Is he petting his
That's true.
His
scythe?
scythe.
He loves his scythe.
Of course he does.
That's how he
Aw.
reaps souls.
Oh, the wings look
listen to you.
really
When
cool.
you're alone, sometimes you stroke your weapon, okay?
Oh, yeah.
It just keeps you
Oh,
in
of
check,
course.
okay? Just in case.
Just the shaft. Though.
That went
Totally
too,
know
that
which
was too
weapon you're
far.
talking about, guys.
See, I pushed at it, Chuck, and you just went too far.
Look, he's a
See,
classy
and
guy.
now-
He's a classy guy, all right?
Can you
All
go
right.
too far?
Well, Pawn's an expert Thanatos, so we should see some good gameplay here. Oh, there was some feathers.
some
Some
flapping.
plumage.
Yeah.
I do see some plumage coming off, that's for sure. There's a basic attack chain, as you get used to seeing against any Thanatos player. And then if he misses his ultimate, then you're really looking like any Thanatos player as well. But let's have a look at the Death Scythe as well. Speed up.
It's a nice bright blue color palette. It goes really well with it.
Yes, we actually had to redesign the emissives to make sure that Thanatos was a different color than the other Thanatai.
Yeah, this is
A flock of Thanatoses is Thanatai.
Pods or
Thanatostes.
That's the best jungle clear I've seen Pompon do all year.
Get him, Pawn. Get him. If only we could get Odin Bot to blink away from you at that time. Oh, that'd be so funny.
This also, I believe, comes with a voice pack as well, is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's have a little
An
listen into
edgelord.
that as well.
Voice pack.
I might just spare you. How impressive. I am the last face you'll see.
Ooh, I like that one.
Defend middle lane.
And he has a face now, so that's
That makes sense.
fitting.
He finally
Yeah.
does.
No mask.
Your
Although I love
crimes
his angry
against
mask.
myself and this world are not forgotten. You will pay for what you have done. You thought you could destroy the land and not suffer the consequences. I'm just a boy who loves his mother. Is that so wrong?
That's
I'm not compensating for anything. It's
I
just
don't know
a
what
really
state
long
you
sight.
grew up in, Tina, but, you know, like, that is wrong in some places.
That was a lot of backstory for just some
There
jokes and
really
taunts.
is.
You know,
It was.
he's a
Yeah,
villain, but he really
God.
feels like his actions are justified. He clearly has some
Attachment
developmental,
to his mother.
some issues, some,
He's
some.
got, you know, he's a mama's boy.
He's got some complexes. That's a perfect last boss portrait, really. Final
Yeah.
boss.
Well, that's,
None
a,
of my girlfriends have ever understood me.
that's a little... But my mum has, quite
Yeah.
clearly.
She's the
Yeah.
only one.
And that's why he has
No
to
one can-
compensate with
you-
his scythe.
No one can match up.
And that's Thanatos. Next up, we can move on then to Conqueror Nike, or Nike, whichever way you want to call it. There's a little look at
prefer
her.
Nike.
Beautiful.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
That weapon looks really dangerous.
Oh, wait until you see it swinging around in game. It's like
The
on fire
flag,
and stuff.
as Chris Larson says, the
A
flag.
flag.
And the hair really was one of the key focal points for this one.
And the crystal wings.
What was the key focal point with the hair?
She has a different hairstyle.
Oh, okay. I was like, what was
It's
it?
a little
what was
less Ruby Rose and more not.
A little more
Rose.
traditional.
More Andre Agassi is what I can tell.
Sure.
She kind of looks like she has a workout band around her. She's about to, you know, like in
It's
the
a circlet.
in the 80s.
It's an
No?
angelic armor piece. All right?
People in chat saying
Alright,
her hair
sorry.
is lovely, so we seem
Oh,
to
Yeah, her hair's
that's
lovely.
great.
Look at that.
Yeah, I love
Hit
the
that
rainbow
marker for
wings
now.
too. That looks
Yeah,
awesome.
they turned out really cool.
And she has full armor this time, boys.
Her armor's pretty full.
Yeah,
Shiny.
more full than her
Oh
unfull.
yeah,
Oh,
these
shiny.
weapon swings are really great too.
Ooh, yeah, sexy. Go Edward. Shout out to Edward. He's probably not watching the patch notes. Show hard at work.
Well, if you do know
There's-
Edward, give him a shout out when you see him.
Chuck, giving shout outs to all our effects artists.
Salisbury.
So there's a look at Rend for you.
Power it up.
Nice and glowy. The leap.
Sweet. So when you're being OP, you can look OP.
Yes,
Quick leap.
I agree, chat. Definitely thick.
That's not what
Thick.
they're saying.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem stupid to me.
No, I think they mean like.
I know what
Okay,
they mean,
okay,
Tina.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh, Tina. You're so sweet and innocent sometimes.
What? When does that
Look at-
happen?
oh yeah. The wings and the armor and stuff is
Oh
really
yeah, it
cool.
looks
The extra
cool.
glow.
She has the helmet on and stuff. It's so sick.
Now this also
do it
comes...
again, do it
Yeah, do
again.
it one more time.
Do it again, bud.
Yeah, the helmet looks dope.
Oh
Now-
yeah, she's pretty
Now
fearsome.
I wish she always had a helmet on.
Well, let's listen to the voice pack as well.
But we need the helmet for the gameplay tell,
I
Tina.
know.
I applaud you.
Is she gonna speak more Lord of the Rings Elvish?
Superb.
Just that one time.
All I do is win. 3 of you against me. Let's go. Okay, so why did the gods invent wine? So Bacchus could never win any battles. Ha!
And there you go.
That laugh.
With the Nike Conqueror skin is going to be available. Next up on the list, we've got a few more to still give you today. Swashbuckler Susano is going to be here.
Oh yeah.
That's
This
a pirate. That's a real pirate.
Why did they take the steering wheel out of me pants?
because
Because it was driving me nuts.
Oh, nice.
I think that's a tier. That's a privateer
is.
joke.
But it's good to
it's
do
a
in
classic-
the pirate
classic
voice.
one.
But
like-
now we can continue to fill out the whole pirate theme. We've got Sobek and Tyr and Susanna. I believe there's others as well, right?
Oh, there's a bunch. Yeah,
There's
Kali, Vulcan. This is just the newest edition,
Mm-hmm.
and you know he's got a little bit of a different flair to him too, as far as the other pirates go.
I feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Yeah, same.
Yes, this
I don't
pirate
know
might
where.
be familiar to
Can't
you.
quite
I
put
have
my
heard of
finger
him.
on
He
it.
might own a very black ship.
His booty be the best booty.
But I have heard of him. That's all I can really tell you. So that's his base model, obviously, with his normal standing pose when he's just chilling.
Well, this casual, laid-back Susanoo, you know, goes
Yeah.
well with this type of pirate as well. It's nice. All right, Pon, run around and do some cool stuff.
Show us cool stuff, Bob.
Oh yeah, he does that.
That is great.
He does individual hose.
Oh yeah.
You can
He's got
interpret
lots
it
of hose.
any way you want. Ho!
That was maybe even a yo-ho-ho.
So it's yo ho ho, not ho ho ho. I was gonna say.
No, there's many. There's yo ho ho, or you can do ho ho.
It's got all
hose.
varieties of hose.
You can do hose.
Oh, Tina, you did a lot of research for this voice pack,
Oh,
didn't
I
you?
know I did.
Good
I
job.
really like the watery swirl
It's
there,
very
Chuck.
aquatic.
It turned out
It's an
really
aquatic
well.
theme.
And still stormy, like Susanoo.
Yes. Stormy seas in this case.
And the ultimate as well.
Very nice.
I tried to
nice.
make him sound
yeah.
drunk, too,
Yeah,
so-
no, that was good. I like
Just a little bit. Yeah, it sounds
a little
good.
battening down of the hatches. So when you were doing the VO, were you like, more drunk?
Yes.
Nice.
just had shots available in the recording studio, I hope.
Fantastic look at that skin as well. And this one's going to be available too. And he's got a voice pack with him as well. So let's listen to Swashbuckler Susano.
It's a good one.
Have some rum. Have some rum.
Have some
Bountiful.
rum. Have some rum.
I be notorious.
Sharks, sea monsters, your granny, they all fear me.
I got a tattoo of your wife on the house. Why
Sorry,
is
I
pirating
had to.
so addictive?
I thought they
They
cut
say
that out.
once you lose your first hand, you get hooked.
Oh.
What did the first mate see down the toilet? The captain's log. Damn it.
I'm sorry, I had to,
Tina,
AJ.
that's such a
I'm
Tina
sorry,
joke.
I had to.
That's a good joke. That's a good one. That's actually really good.
I really thought we were out of pirate jokes.
I'm
I
sorry,
believe
I'm
I
sorry.
even heard Fish proclaim that at one point, but your
I did
ability to
it.
keep finding more pirate jokes is absolutely unbelievable to me.
Great
I made
looking out
some. I gotta
there.
make some stuff up sometimes, you know.
I've struggled with it before. It's tough, but well done.
Do we have enough pirates now for an entire?
Oh,
we have more.
This is like the 7th or 8th one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's at least, I think there's one in every class too, so you could actually play a reasonable, balanced pirate team.
Well, there's a pirate, but I think if we're going to have a pirate, we should also have a wizard. And that's exactly...
yes.
Okay.
All right,
Yes,
calm down,
yes,
everyone.
yes,
Calm
yes,
down.
finally.
Calm down. Calm
Okay,
down.
I'm calming down.
Guan,
So I have been waiting for this for so long.
after seeing the
He
card art,
has.
I have been waiting for this for so long and didn't realize it either. Guan Unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
Guan Yu. Yes, he rides a freaking unicorn. Is going to be available in this patch as well.
Look how
What is-
whimsical he is.
Who's
so
How
happy.
whimsical he is.
Who,
I remember you wanted
who was
this like
sat in
3 years
design and
ago.
went, you know what? He needs to ride a unicorn and look like a wizard.
It was Chuck.
Well,
was
so
all you,
it was a
Chuck.
combination of factors.
Yes.
The Guan unicorn discussion had come up a large number of times, and then I realized that Guan Yu's skeleton matches being a wizard because he already has a beard
That's
and
true.
robes
That's true.
and a big staff thing.
But we had some other concepts that were more traditional fantasy wizards, and we had some other
And
concepts
I
more
was like,
unicorn,
nope,
like crazy, like
We're
techno.
going full whimsical
And
cartoon.
Chuck brought them together
My Little Pony unicorn.
in a beautiful
It's
way.
happening.
The dream.
And look at this weapon and armor set he's got. It's just awesome.
It's like a massive crystal that he's found in a cave or something.
Oh yeah, magic
And
crystals.
it's rainbow.
And it's rainbow. Oh, this
Look at it, listen. Oh, that's great.
Oh, magic sparkles from the conviction as well.
Oh, it's so great.
The effects.
It's really good.
Effects team really just hit every single one out of the park.
Oh, the
here.
whole pack. to be
I
fair,
mean,
it's
yeah,
really
of course,
good
the
stuff.
modeling
All
and
these
animation too.
Out of my way! Out of my way! Out of my way!
You like that, Papa Chuck?
Yes, I'm so.
You proud, Papa Chuck?
Yeah, the amount that I'm excited about this particular skin. I also play a fair amount of Guan Yu, so this is just going to be
Yeah.
so enjoyable.
He's one of my favorite
Look
warriors
how
too.
sparkly he is.
Oh, that passive glow. That's awesome.
All right,
Mm.
stop, hold, pushing it back, Pom Pom. Get on the horse.
Yes.
You must be jelly, 'cause your horse is just bait.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
He did say his horse was amazing.
Good
Yes, he
job.
did.
He's got
Good.
his
Of course he
own
had to.
magical
Yes,
unicorn
high-five.
horse.
Can we do it in slow-mo
song.
there, Pon, maybe?
He's going to.
Yeah,
So you can
boy.
really see this
Oh,
unicorn.
look at that.
It's amazing.
I was about to say a bad word, but
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Unicorn
He's-
horns,
I
their
know.
butt cracks
He
is
just
dangerous.
barely cleared it.
Just barely.
He just barely
It's
cleared it.
pooping rainbows?
Oh,
He's
yes.
pooping rainbows.
Yeah, so we'll lose a little bit of that in the slow-mo, but there's a
Aw,
nice
sad.
rainbow effect that'll chase the horse. That's what the magical unicorn
at
looks
that.
like.
Go,
there.
Pon, go.
There
Look
it
at it, look
is.
at it.
Oh, yes.
Rainbow flatulence as its best.
Does it taste like raisins, though?
Yes, I mean.
Raisins.
Yeah.
What?
Gotta
Wouldn't
taste
it
like
taste
raisins.
like marshmallows? Like
Maybe.
multicolored
Sour Patch
marshmallows?
Kids, perhaps?
Or lemonade. You know where I'm
Maybe.
going.
I know where you're going, Tina. We're not going that direction. Thank you very much. This is a family show over here.
I want to hear this guy.
Okay, okay.
I want to hear this guy.
Let's listen to the voice back as well, then.
You're better than most. Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh, fabulous! Oh, fabulous! Fabulous!
Nice.
I'm a wizard! Well done.
Now that line
Think you
right
could handle
there
my charm?
was how we got Tina, how we got the wizard thing together. She's like, "What's he like?" And I'm like, "He says, I'm a wizard."
It was what defined his whole character,
Yeah.
really.
And then
was
we had that
line.
exchange like 10 times for.
Yeah.
But
Well, there's a look at the Wizards. We got any more lines left to say there,
I
Pod,
want
or
some
we just-
jokes.
do we
Yeah,
cover
do
it?
some
Jokes
jokes
and
sometime.
talk.
There's
You guys gotta be
nothing
quiet.
special about you. Oh, shush. If you don't have a long, silky beard like mine, you are not a wizard. Don't park your unicorn there. Violators will be towed. Ribbit, ribbit. Get it?
And there is the Guan Unicorn skin. But not only that, Guan Yu is also getting a mastery update as well, I believe, this patch. So we
as
could
we do,
probably be able to show
ride
those
that
as well.
unicorn back to base, Pon.
Ooh, nice. Looking scary.
There's the golden Guan Yu card art for that one. We should be able to show off all 3 of the models for the mastery updates for Guan Yu in-game as well, before we move on. There you go. So regal, so handsome, so deadly. But he's not a wizard on a unicorn, is he? Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
I don't think I could ever look at Guan Yu again and
And
feel the
I
same
know.
way
Weirdly
unless he
handsome there.
rides a unicorn.
It's one of those skins that's just like, you can't imagine playing other
Fabulous.
skins anymore. Where you're just
Right.
like, I gotta be Guan Unicorn as much as I
It's the
possibly
same way
can be.
Zeus, you have to be Heaven's Rave Zeus now. There's no other Zeus
Yeah,
that can
if you
handle.
have it, there's no other outfit.
We're
to
probably
wear.
getting close to a full rainbow team now too, which would just be
Sparkly
amazing.
rainbows.
Oh yeah, just kawaiis and unicorns and
Oh, no kawaii. They don't count.
and dubstep
Don't
all
count.
over the place. Yeah, they do. They do.
We need
They
a
do not
whole
count,
set
fam.
of fantastical things now.
Were you one of the Kawhi Scotty haters?
I was.
Oh,
I was.
Yeah.
that was so polarizing.
Yeah.
That
Bless
skin.
your
was.
heart.
It was
I'm
so
sorry.
polarizing.
That and Bastet, both for me, no. Just put them in a ditch and bury them alive. That's fine by me.
Well, you can just play your Diamond Guan and try hard and all right.
Oh, also, that's why we switched to Terra, because I forgot about this bit. There is a new dance emote available for Terra for all you Terra players out there. Let's see what she'll do when she's dancing. What dance is this, by the way? I
don't
know
know
most of the time
either.
the dances are off something.
So
but-
this one was actually hotly debated by the community because she dances in her victory screen.
Yeah.
Lots of people were like, "What dance is this?" It's not actually a reference to anything. And I know you don't believe us. We
Okay.
do it a lot of references, but this one, I've talked to animation. I heard it was just their own creation,
Okay.
and
Oh,
it was
wow.
actually they danced it out themselves to get the feel for it.
The more you know.
So that's one that I've seen lots of speculation about.
Right. Awesome then. Well, that's it for all we have for the skins this week. And yeah, final thoughts on the skins, guys? What was your favorite one? That's a hard choice, actually. That's why I'm like,
Guan
what's your favorite?
Unicorn?
Really? More than Heaven's Rave Zeus? That's a debate.
I mean, I'm a
I mean, they're
ponies
so
girl, so-
close for me. It's a really tough call.
Yeah, the Zeus skin
I
is
love
awesome, but
horses.
I've been waiting for Guan Unicorn for so long that
I feel like I've been playing more mages lately, so I'll go with Zeus, but
Okay.
it's tough.
Okay, well, I'm going to head over to Taco real quick for a quick breakdown as we get ready for the next segment. We'll be back in a few moments.
Thank you so much, Hindu. And I mean, as much as I love those skins, I can't help but notice how comfortable all those chairs look. But for those of you who are just now tuning in, I do want to go ahead and let you guys know all we've covered so far is the skin segment. So in case you guys missed it, we do have some very interesting skins coming out. My favorite would probably have to be the Zeus one, to say the least. And ultimately, I mean, there's just no way for you guys to not love any of these new skins that are coming out. I know that that's something that the community is always continuing to express non-stop support for, and I've got to say, design team, you guys did an excellent job with all of these. I mean, between Swashbuckler Susano and the Guan Unicorn, there's just so much to be excited for, and I know I can't wait to get into game and go ahead and give a lot of these guys a go, because that's probably one of my favorite parts, if anything, is if you look good, you're going to play good, and I need all the help that I can get, especially. So without any further ado, though, this isn't the only new things that we have coming. We're actually going to be having Hinduman coming in live with some more SMITE adventures, and I'm sure that you guys are pretty excited to hear all about it. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Thanks so much, Taco, for wasting everyone's time. That's all we want you to do. As you can see in front of us, though, there is a desk. This is designed just for Taco. Normal-sized people can't actually use it, however, as it is miniaturized to fit her. as you can tell. Joining me on the set right now is Travis, Deshaun, also known as Clumsy, as you'll know, and Matt as well. These guys are here to bring us some exciting new content as well this patch, which we've not really spoke about just yet, which is called SMITE Adventures. I guess, Travis, should start off. What exactly is SMITE Adventures?
Well, as you know, the last time I was here was end of last year.
Fafnir, right?
Yeah, something about Fafnir, yeah. We introduced Xingtian's Mountain first and Fafnir's Wonderland shortly after, which introduced a new game mode that a lot of players were able to come in and play a new game mode that hadn't been seen before. So basically what we did was, based on the success of that, we thought, what if we took a whole team and dedicated it exclusively to new game modes and new adventures? So that's where the idea for Adventures came.
Okay. So these adventures, we're going to start things off with Nike's Valley of Victory, if you've not noticed. Obviously, that's the name of the patch here as well. Clumsy, adventures. How often are we going to be seeing these adventures? Because we start off with Nike's Valley of Victory, which we'll get into exactly what that's going to be in a moment. But what exactly, how often are we going to see these happen?
Right, so the first adventure is going to be Nike's Valley of Victory, and that's going to be coming up this patch, of course, and it's going to be going around for around 4 weeks. And then after that, there'll be a 2-week time where we're going to be teasing the next adventure. So we're looking for around 4 weeks on and then 2 weeks off.
Okay, so as long as everything goes into place, it should be 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
That's the plan.
Just from around at home looking at that, just to be careful. So I guess without further ado, I guess we should probably show you a little bit of an intro video of exactly what this mode is before we go into it and what you can find out in this. I'm just waiting for production to let me know we can go to that video right now, and we can. So let's have a look at the teaser trailer.
Welcome to Nike's Valley of Victory. Today we capture the flag. The rules are simple. Just go get the flags. And they have the flag. Trying to get away. Oh, a fake out. We have the fake out. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. This is surely the craziest game I have ever seen. Oh, she is working along the sideline. Wow. Wow! Up goes the wall! This next play will win it! Oh! 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 Here comes the ball! Where's the team? Mayday! 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 And their flag isn't home!
Nike's Valley of Victory. How exciting this is going to be looking at this overall. And you can see Travis is already here with, I'm in your base stealing your flag. Travis is going to come to you for this as well then. Capture the flag. Why did we just choose to do this mode for the opening one for the year?
I don't know. It's fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah, so the first thing that we wanted to do, with these adventures is focus on really fun new gameplay experiences that we haven't seen before in SMITE. So one of the obvious ones, taking a page out of the Tribes of Sin book, we decided to add Capture the Flag.
Capture the Flag is going to be here as well. Now, obviously, Matt is on the set with us as well. Matt's in charge of helping with map design and things, and you actually helped to come up with the map that we see for this game. So it's going to have a specific map for this game.
Yes,
and tell me a little bit about what went into that and what the design of this map is.
Yeah, so we wanted to do a whole new map for this game mode and potentially do new maps for anything else that we plan in the future, which you'll get to later. But yes, we wanted to basically create a whole new map and with whole new gameplay that centers around this new game mode because we felt that that was the most fun. We didn't want to throw us in the other maps, and we wanted to really make this event feel like its own thing and not just part of something else.
Makes a lot of sense. We should be able to get into games soon to show you guys a little bit of this. And we'll come back to Matt to actually look through some of the map that we're going to see here as well. Now, in the video, Clumsy, there that I did see, if we go into game now, we can do so as we continue talking here. Is Clumsy, we saw some of the gods here. There's not a whole lot of gods available for this. It's designed for a certain variation of gods.
Absolutely. So when we were looking at our first adventure, Nike's Valley of Victory, we really wanted to focus on the gameplay and the mechanics. In fact, that's kind of what we're going to be doing looking forward for all the other adventures is that what really matters is the gameplay. And so because of that, we narrowed down the god list to ones that we thought would be the most iconic and would fit this game mode the best. And so we have the 5 gods you've seen in the video, and you can see one of them here, Ymir. We'll have Ymir, Hercules, Loki, Anubis, and Artemis.
Yeah, one of the things that we noticed when we were trying to create this game mode is, fun needed to be the main focus.
Yeah.
And when we started to play, we noticed that if we just allowed any god in, we wouldn't be able to do some of the cool things that we've done. So the first thing that we thought would be most fun was maybe if you pick up a flag, you actually pick up a flag. Instead of having it attached to your back, you'll see each god that picks up the flag will have its own animations, and also be able to use exclusive abilities that are flag abilities. So the melee attack, for example, is true damage. And
Just
if you're
true
close
damage?
True damage.
True damage.
It's very true. And and so if you get close enough, you get beat down by Ymir here.
Okay.
He also has an ability that will dash forward, knocking players back. So if you notice, he's moving a little slower now.
Yeah, he's a little bit slow.
Yeah. So when he does a dash, he's going to knock players back and get some distance that allows him to maybe get the flag out.
Just like a bit of a speed boost for himself.
A little bit, yeah, a little
Okay.
bit. And then the last ability that he has available to him is a flag throw.
Right.
Yep.
How far can he throw that?
He throws it
About
about
that
40
far?
feet.
Okay.
But again, for the sake of fun, this allows for some really cool gameplay because now the gods are not only flag carriers, but they're also gaining
Passers,
abilities.
receivers,
Yeah.
and you've got extra abilities.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've seen some really cool gameplay where those flags get passed between players and they can cap really quick. And
Okay.
also they can be intercepted by enemies. So
Yeah, you got to be really careful there because your dash is on a 20-second cooldown, but your throw, you can throw it as many times as you're picking it up. As you can see at the icon in Ymir there, is that if you do throw the flag, you're unable to pick it back up for a couple of seconds. So you can't
smart boys.
exactly. If you're playing Hercules or something, you can't just throw the flag and then dash towards it and pick it up right away. There's a couple of seconds where you're not able to.
Now this, obviously, we said it a little bit earlier on, Matt, about the new map here as well, but there's a sort of cave thing as well that you can go into here as well. If Pompon can show us that cave.
Yeah, take a look at the
that
cave.
you've done as well. Do they just doors like close behind you and stuff? Or?
Boom.
Yeah, so because we limited the gods, we could do a lot more cool things with the environment. So the first thing, obviously, is that we can have doors that open and close for
And a
you.
cave.
And the cave, we have interiors now. You saw a little bit in the base. There's roofing in the base, but the cave is the coolest part. Since we don't have Thor, Thanatos, flying ults, we can have people just run around the cave, have fun. This was supposed to be our sneaky path, and so we wanted to make it feel like that.
The Loki path is what we're going to be calling it pretty much.
The Loki path, but at the same time, if you're playing a god like Ymir and you're going to the cave,
it's
you
Ymir's
can block
path.
someone off right with the wall, and there you go. They're not going that way
That's a
anymore.
good point.
Yes.
That's a good point. So, talk about the gameplay of this, just so I understand as well, because I've not asked you these questions before, is like, how many points is it going to be to when you play this game mode? Can you respawn when you die? How do I continue to sustain if I take damage, or am I
absolutely.
mana?
Well, the game mode's going to be first to 5 flag captures.
Okay.
So as soon as flag captures are going to be 5 flag captures are going to be done, then that's going to be the game end. Also, if one team's in the lead, 12 minutes will be the game timer.
Right.
But now, if there's a tie, there will be a 4-minute overtime as well.
Awesome. So 12-minute game timer, you all even up overtime to finish it off if need be. And if you can get 5 captures in under 12 minutes, jobs are good and you can move on to the next one.
That's right.
What about mana regen, and what level do you start? How much gold do we get? What's the spooling and
Right.
things like that? This is important stuff.
Once you go into the game as you're one of the 5 gods, you're going to be starting off at level 20 with a lot of gold, basically. You're going to be able to buy your items inside the sanctum there with the flag, and you're going to be able to resell if you need to and buy again. Now, as you can see, there are no real healers, and there's no real ways of getting health back other than maybe Hercules' ability. But, as we can see here, there are pots littered across the battlefield that'll be able to recover some of your health and mana.
Are all the pots just healing potions? Is it just
They're
a
actually
small
multi-potions. They're going to be
Okay.
giving you back, I think, around 25% of your health and mana for each pot.
And the idea is, I guess you want to find these potions and then continue fighting. There's no reason to try and stay alive if you have mana and health.
Right, exactly,
Oh,
because
fine.
there is a respawn system. In fact, it's a randomized respawn system that Travis made, and it's absolutely fantastic. And that means you're not going to be spawning in the same place every single time. You're going to be moving around a little bit because the battlefield is small, and it's going to be important so that if you die right next to an enemy, you don't show up right in front of their face again.
Well, we just saw that little whirlwind picked up then as well. Was that like a speed boost, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Definitely what we wanted to add in this game mode are things to allow players to capture the flag quick, get out of the base as fast as possible, but also we just want people to blow people up. It's more fun to blow people up, so that's what we chose to do. So there's a damage buff in the map that gives you 40% damage
40%
for a minute.
And teleport
Is
as
a
well.
minute too long?
Yep.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll find out in the grand scheme of capture the flag, I guess.
Yeah, you could blow up a lot of people in a minute.
I think a minute's fine, because you're going to find them first, then try and, kill them.
Yeah.
What about relics? Can you use relics and things, or is it no relics?
Yeah, so you do get a ton of money, basically. You can buy and sell your items multiple times and change out your builds.
Okay.
But the one thing that we wanted to limit is no relics and no consumables. Why no relics? Why would no relics be not included here? Because they're not fun. If someone can age us in this game, disclaimer. Maybe I'm biased.
There's a long pause.
You're gonna get memed on that one, my friend, that's for sure.
Wow.
Don't worry, we're gonna come to be all just sat there waiting. Like, please say in this game mode. Woo!
Okay, in this game mode, sure. We didn't want people to maybe use teleport. We didn't want people to age us. We didn't want people to beads. We want the CC to be strong. We want you to be strong. We want the gameplay to be controlled. And not be like, well, why didn't you pick this relic? Why didn't you pick these consumables and whatnot?
Awesome.
So we limit that. And then when you pick up the flag, those flag abilities that you saw actually go into your relic slots. So you'll use your same key bindings that you use for your relics for the flag throw and the dash.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're not going to be able to use relics such as beads or purification, or aegis
beads
even.
Or purification.
Beads, yeah, purification, beads, and aegis. Okay, thank you.
That's better.
We've changed their names how many times now? But that allowed us to use gods that might not have been used otherwise. So for example, Ymir and Hercules, their CC and crowd control is going to be a huge factor in this game mode.
Okay. Makes sense because can't be limited down as much as well. So let's look at the game mode as a whole. Now, this is available for everyone to play for free. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that right? You can all play this game mode?
Yeah.
Definitely.
The game mode will be completely free.
It's available for around 4 weeks as a schedule for this.
That's
as well.
right. Yeah.
Now, not only that, though, there is a bundle that you can also purchase to go alongside with this new one. For you guys at home as well, you've already seen the Conqueror Nike skin, which we mentioned earlier in the skin section. That is part of this bundle. I'm going to break down the bundle real quick for you. You'll get 15 Team Worshipper boosters, a music theme pack to go along with this, a Banner Global Emo, which I'm going to come back to in a second, and the Conqueror Nike skin. Now, that Banner Global Emo, I believe you were telling me there's achievements in the game mode that you can play that will upgrade this emo as time goes on.
Yeah. So for this, for the adventures going forward, every adventure will include a new game mode and a new bundle of rewards that's available to players. Inside of there will be an idea for like this global emote where when you purchase it, it will have a base effects,
base animation
for the global emote. And as you complete some of the achievements inside of the game mode, the global emote will gain additional effects on top of that.
Okay.
To where once you unlock them all, it'll be the most glamorous looking global emote that you can achieve. Yeah.
So play the game mode and keep doing that. And there's also leaderboards which are free to be part of as well, from what I understand, Clumsy, right?
Right.
There's going to be leaderboards that people can show how cool they are at this game mode.
Yeah, so there's going to be leaderboards attached to Nike's Valley of Victory, and now there's going to be an MMR system as well, so that it's not just based on win-loss ratio. So if you play a lot of games, but you lose a lot of games, you're not going to be on the top of the leaderboards. What matters is you win the games that matter.
Yeah. What?
I was confused by that. Say that again? I don't know if did that make perfect sense?
Does that make perfect sense? I'm not sure. It might have been
I'm not sure. I think you were just saying, like, you lose a lot of games, but as long as you win the games that matter, that's cool.
Exactly, because if you lose a lot of games and you have a win-loss ratio, you're not going to be on the top of the leaderboards. But what matters is if you win the games that actually count in terms of MMR. So if you get a high MMR, you're going to be on the high.
So there is matchmaking, is what you're trying to say, involved in these leaderboards. So these leaderboards, like, you'll have a matchmaking rating internally for these game modes. So if you're not very good at capture the flag, don't worry too much about it.
Right.
You will be able to go forward and like play against people who are also not very good at capture the flag. But if you're good at it, then you'll face off against better people.
It's more to stroke your E-pin. There's no rewards attached to leaderboard. That's all going to be in the bundle.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, one other thing in the bundle as well.
Let me hit on that on the leaderboard. I just want to say that I think that the matchmaking's working. I haven't lost yet.
No.
Like, right?
Yeah, because you've been on my team for most of the games.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's working, but I mean, I don't know. The matchmaking is.
I mean, to be fair, matchmaking is always working when you're winning. Remember that. So. Matchmaking's working right now. If you are losing at home, make sure you send tweets at Clumsy. He can make sure his matchmaking is fixed for you, so you start winning the games again.
Yeah, no.
Matchmaking all good.
Just because I win my games doesn't mean we need to carry you for your games.
Okay. I wasn't saying me. I'm winning too. I'm a winner. However, in the bundle as well, there's one thing that we didn't touch on just yet, and it's called the gold key. And I wanted to do this one a little bit separately. It's going to be part of the bundle. The gold key itself, what exactly is this going to do, and what do I do with a gold key?
Yeah. So Adventures as a whole will have a hub, and it's going to include a vault.
Okay.
Inside of this vault, we will always have each adventure's bundle included in one of the doors inside of the vault.
Right.
So you'll see the Nike's Valley of Victory door inside of the vault, and you go inside there and you'll see all the rewards. Included in there is a gold key. The gold key that you get from there, you can go out into that vault again, into a gold vault door.
Right.
That includes some exclusively limited skins to only the gold vault. You take your gold key, you can unlock any of the skins that are in there, whichever one you want. Use your key on that skin and you get it. Including inside of that gold vault will be Guan Unicorn. So you'll be able to get it if you want it. It's
Gotcha.
it won't be in a chest where you have to
It's
worry.
not in
You
a
just go
chest.
get it.
It's part of a bundle, so you'll get the Nike skin, you'll get the banner global emote, the music theme, 15 worshippers, and a gold key that will unlock in the first segment, in the first installment of the adventures. There will be Guan Unicorn and Swashbuckler Susano will be unlockable by using your gold key in there. Now, this does not mean, I'm just going to clear this up as well, this does not mean you can't get the other skin you don't purchase, because as more adventures happen, you will unlock more gold keys that you can get hold of to unlock the other skins as well going forward.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You got it.
Awesome. This game mode looks amazing. What are you most excited about with this game mode coming out?
Capturing some flags.
Capturing flags is the main thing. You're in the base stealing them already.
Yeah, I'm already stealing your flag.
That's smart. What about you, Plums?
I think the banner emote is really cool, and also smacking people in the face with the flag.
Yeah. What about you, Matt, at the end?
I want to see all the Loki players.
Oh, no.
I want to see, get them out there. Show me some videos of some sick Loki captures.
Loki mains for days. Anything else you want to add to that for the time being, or are you just excited to see it come out now?
I'm just excited. We've been working on it for a while. I think, this team has created something that's just really fun, amazing. Everyone's having a lot of fun. So I'm just excited to actually play against people that are like more my competition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
That's
your
pretty
level.
much-
That's
Yeah.
the biggest
A little
key.
bit on my level. Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to head over to Taco, who's going to stall while we get new people on the set. We don't care about Taco, really. Over to you, Taco.
That actually hurts Hindu. That. Okay, anyway, as all you guys saw, that new game mode is honestly looking pretty fantastic. I know I'm more than excited to go ahead and introduce myself to some Capture the Game. Capture the Game? Well, yeah. Capture the Flag. So, if anything, I know that, like we discussed, Loki is going to be in the game mode, and honestly, I want to see some of you guys pulling out your best stuff because, like you guys, or like you all you Loki mains, I should say, I just want to watch the world burn. And it'll be the perfect opportunity if we go ahead and introduce that guy into Capture the Flag. And like they mentioned, with the opportunity for it being free to play and you guys getting a chance to unlock some really cool skins if you go ahead and participate in that, it's a really great opportunity all around. And like I said, we're all looking forward to it. But if anything, I've seen and heard a little bit here and there about something to do with balance changes and items that need twerk, something about Boombas. But yeah, we don't really want to bother you guys too much about that. So we're just gonna go ahead and call it for the day. So honestly though, we're gonna go ahead and have Hindu introduce you guys to some of the balance changes that we have coming your way up very soon.
Thanks, Taco. Your jokes are about as entertaining as your dress sense.
Man, you're so brutal.
You have to be. You break them and you build them back up. Look at you, Pon.
It's fair.
A long time ago on these patch notes show, you were useless, you were a waste of space, and now look at you.
Wow.
Look at you now. Look how far you've come.
I guess I did use slow-mo and camera rove, and I
See?
didn't crash in the middle of the patch notes.
See? Welcome to the new patch notes set, I should say, and now it's on for the patch notes itself with the item balance and changes to Conquest that you always like to love in here as well. We're going to get straight on with it, and as you can see, I've got a few pieces of paper here to run through. And we're going to start things off with, I believe, miscellaneous?
Yep,
Is where we should start. And we'll start off with Tower's backdoor protections are no longer removed by God Pets.
Yeah, so this one is actually probably the biggest mischange we've probably
It's
had in a while.
about time.
Yeah, so this one is, there's backdoor protection is kind of this invisible rule that exists in Smite where the towers are a lot tankier when you don't have any minions around or god pets around. And that was something that was just kind of invisible, as well as it made a few characters really, really, really potent at backdooring, which is kind of a frustrating experience to have happen to you in general. And so we're just removing that. We are aware, however, though, that some characters kind of relied on that. Like
That's true.
New Waz, Clay Soldiers, for example, where boss at dropping cats on the tower in the late game could just easily push something. So we're looking at all the characters that were affected, and we're making balance changes to 2 of them, which are actually new on Bastet.
Okay.
And we're holding off on things like Bakasur or Vulcan.
Just to see how they do
Just
without
to see
it.
how they continue to perform, and because like Bakasur especially, he's very, very good when you can eat the oracles, or you can eat the fire elemental camp, and that's something we want to watch before we make any more adjustments.
Okay, so for now, backdoor protection is removed from pets. We'll see how this goes going forward. We'll move on to items next, and the first thing to state as well is aura items. Now, this is a big change overall. Not a big change, but a whole list, I should say, of things that happen. Do you want to explain a little bit about what we're doing here?
Yeah, so aura items are two things. One was they were inconsistent whether they applied to all characters or only just minions. And so now anything that would give or remove stats is going to be affecting only gods now.
Okay.
So Nuaz, Clay Soldiers again, is not going to be affected by Pythagorams. Minions won't be affected by Sovereignty Aura. They all now only affect gods. And so that excludes Mystical Mail and Emperor's Armor.
So Mystical Mail and Emperor's Armor will still do things in relation to other things in the map other than gods. But Heartwood Amulet, Pestilence, Pythagorams Piece, Sovereignty, Void Shield, Void Stone, and Ward Stone will only now apply to gods, I should say, to clear that one up as well. Next up on the list is Hand of the Gods. Fix the description stating this relic did no damage to jungle bosses.
Yeah, we added damage back to it. We didn't change the description. Now we've changed the description.
Next up is a ritual change. This is going to be Frenzied Ritual, first of all. Frenzied Ritual reduced the duration of this ritual from 10 seconds down to 5 seconds.
Yeah, so this kind of encompasses like rituals in general. There are these things that you spend a lot of money on, but you get a very powerful effect for. But when you could get 2 characters in your team and have 20 seconds of this benefit, chaining it together, it was something that was really, really potent. There was an opportunity for counterplay because they were just always buffed. And so if teams want to actually chain for that duration, they have to invest a lot more team-wide gold into that effect.
Yeah, 20 seconds compared to 10 and 2 is a decent amount. Not only that, in terms of the rituals, we're also going to be having a look at Rallying Ritual. This is one that we had an idea of, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it as well through forums and things. Rallying Ritual can no longer be used on someone that is already being teleported to, but not only that, Rallying Ritual can no longer be used on someone that is currently being teleported to.
Yes.
So you can't chain these together or all jump to the same person and end the game.
Yeah, when there were discussions happening, that was like the idea was to make it so that you can't all the team can't teleport to the same person, and then someone was like, but what if I just teleport to the person teleporting?
And
so you can't do that either.
all the way through.
Yeah, so we fixed it so you can't do that. If you want to actually do the kind of Titan push, which is this change is really meant to like stop.
Yep.
You're going to have to invest 2 people, maybe a ward down there to get the rest of your teammates in there. It's not just a Mercury ulting into the base and everyone's there suddenly.
More investment to be able to use the Rallying Ritual correctly. Next up on the list is another change that was mentioned earlier on. Bumba's Mask is getting hit this patch, or is it a buff or a nerf? We'll find out.
I would say this is a buff and a frustration factor removal.
Well, let's have a little look at it. It's going to be Bumba's Mask will now only apply the passive bonus health and mana gold to the closest god with Bumba's Mask that is within assist range of a defeated jungle monster camp. So if I've got 2 people with Bumba's Mask as an example on the same team, whoever's closest is going to get the heal.
Yes, whoever was closer, and as long as they're in assist range, you can't be across the map and be in contention for this. You have to be within the assist range.
And by assist range, it's very similar to, I just want to check this right, is it kind of like supports when they tag a wave and leave?
Yeah.
As long as the wave is still technically tagged by them, it still counts as them getting a heal.
Yeah, that would also count for assist range too.
Cool. So if nobody else has Bumbas, obviously.
Yeah, you'll get it. And yeah, this is mainly because like the whole reason we have the system in place in the first place is Bumba's at 500. If it just heals your entire team and gives them bonus gold for killing camps, it's going to be something that just everyone picks up.
Everyone buys because it's 500 gold.
And so that's why we had the initial restriction of you have to be there to last hit, so that people just couldn't be stacking together and taking all the camps.
Okay.
So now we just made a different variation of it that should also reduce frustration.
Hopefully that helps out there. Other starter items to get looked at this patch as well. Sands of Time. It's going to have a bit of a change to its passive. It's going to increase MP5 per stack from 1.5 to 2.
So this should probably go together with all the other ones. So let's read all the other magical mage starter items.
We've got Vampiric Shroud as well, which is going to have its passive increased mana restored from 5 to 8 per enemy kill. And not only Vampiric Shroud, but Soulstone. Sorry, I missed that one off in between for some reason. Now heals 40 mana when consuming 5 stacks. So it's mana increases for all the starting mage items.
Yes. So the big thing we found was mana radiation was so needed that even though some characters might want the extra health from Vampiric Shroud and Sustain, some people might want the extra damage potential from Soulstone, everyone went Sands of Time just because of the mana regeneration it gave. It also scales really well with cooldown reduction, but mana regeneration was a big part of it. And so we still want it to be kind of the premier mage mana regen item, and so that's why it got a buff as well to compensate so it's not like overshadowed by all the rest. But all the other ones also got a little bit more mana return, so they're a little bit more usable for mid lane mages.
Okay. Next on the list is Shield of Regrowth, the final item in this patch notes this week. Shield of Regrowth is going to get a couple of nerfs. First of all, the cost of this item is going to go up by 100 gold. It was 2,000. It's now going to be 2,100 gold. Not only that, we're going to reduce the health on this item from 300 to 200.
Yeah. So Shield of Regrowth is kind of interesting because it's this really fun effect that a lot of self-healers like, characters like Thanatos can use it, Kamazots, you can also put it on Hell, you can also put it on Guan, like there's a lot of characters that can use it.
Yep.
And the big thing we noticed was the difference between building it and not building it determined whether a character was overperforming or doing like kind of middle of the pack performance.
Okay.
And so this item alone was causing a lot of characters to be very, very good, and so we just want to tone that down a little bit so it's still an option for characters, but it's not going to be like, you're not going to be good unless you build.
It's not core.
It's not core.
If you can help it.
Yeah, there's options. If you want to go more damagey, you can build more damage item in its place. You don't have to rush this to get the survivability and everything else that comes with it.
Okay, so there's a change to Shield of Regrowth as well. Next up then, we're on to God Balance already, and I'm looking if it's an alphabetical order. It might be, we'll see.
I think we did it.
We're getting there slowly.
You didn't point it out, but we definitely got all the aura items in order.
I don't care enough about those. Just
I care.
God Balance, because everyone focuses on
that
God
was
Balance.
like a point of focus when drafting these up.
God Balance is always the focus of making sure they're in order, because people are like, oh, we've gone past S already,
yeah,
so that
that's
means there's no buffs to Susano or nerf to Susano.
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably isn't this patch either. Let's find out. Bastet, open wounds. First of all, increase the damage from 15% to 20%. Now this is to factor in the cats no longer have backdoor protection.
Yeah,
right?
this was one of the two characters we adjusted this patch because of that change. Just give her a little bit more damage so she can kind of do what she needs to do as an assassin.
Okay. Next up after Bastet is Izanami. Izanami's going to get a small change this patch, which is the base damage decreased from 40 to 36, which means her basic attacks are a little bit less strong at the moment.
This is actually a change that happened right before Season 4.
Okay.
It was like one of the last changes of Season 3 where we upped her per damage scaling and her base. But now with Season 4, kind of how things have changed, new items, new meta strategies. The level 1 clear that 40 base power was providing was a little bit too high, so we're toning it down so other hunters have opportunities against her.
Awesome. Next up is Kuzumbo, the latest Guardian to enter the God's Realm for the time being. And a couple of changes here overall. General fixed progression on the stats page, showing it was shown as undefined. Water Bowl fixed a description error to properly convey the damage mitigation this passive provides. Next up is Shell Spikes, I believe, which is the first one. Can now be activated while Kuzumbo is under the effect of crowd control.
Yeah, so this is one I probably want to pause on for a little bit, just because it has a lot of impact implications. Kuzumbo is a character that like a lot of people really, really like because his personality is so good, his art's so good, but there were balance concerns that he had of why would I pick him over other Guardians, and so he wanted to give him, like, make sure all his tools felt really good and had enough punch to make him this kind of brawly, in-your-face character. And one of the things was, if you got CC'd, you often couldn't get Shell Spikes out in time because you need to get it out because a huge burst was coming.
You're already dead because you were CC'd to high heaven.
You were either CC'd or, like, all the burst came and then you got to activate it, and so now players against Kuzumbo have to be kind of wary at all times.
Yeah, very careful. Have to do that. Not only that, though, Sumo Slam is also going to get a bit of a buff this patch. Its damage has gone from 65 to 185. Is now going to be 80 to 200, so it's about 15 of rank by the looks of that one.
Yep.
And then on top of that,
that also has a top end because you can hit 3 times.
Oh,
so that's also potentially 3 times higher.
So it's 600 at top end.
Yeah.
On the highest rank of that, if you hit him.
Yeah, you had to push people through a whole bunch of minions or enemies, but yeah.
So to 600 damage on Sumo Slam at max rank. We'll see how that works out. But Watery Grave is having a bit of a change to it this patch as well. We're going to reduce the duration of this ability from 2.8 seconds to 2.1, which works out at 1 less maximum knock-up that he can do. We've increased the first hit damage on this ability, though. It was 60 to 220. It's now going to be 80 to 280. So it's about 20 in the early ranks and goes up to 60 in the later ranks here. And increased the per tick damage from 30 to 110 is now 40 to 140. We've also increased the movement speed of this ability as well from 35% to 45%, and fixing an issue where Kuzumbo could be knocked up during warm-up for this ability.
Yes. Lots of changes.
Is this the only change we're going to make it to? Or do we think we're just going to do it in baby steps as usual? Or do you reckon this is going to be enough?
Well, I think overall this will be enough personally, just because he's a character that has a lot of good potential with being able to reflect damage back. He can push people out of position. He can knock people out of position. But he just wasn't contributing enough in like the late game in terms of the damage like a frontline kind of Guardian wants to.
Yeah.
And so now with the ultimate being shorter, as well as him being able to move faster during it, he can get his damage out way quicker because he essentially front-loaded his damage more. And then he can also be around knocking more people up during it. Even though it's less duration, he should be able to get to places where he needs to be. And so I think overall these changes will help push him at least in the right direction of helping him be a little bit more of a frontline Guardian.
Okay. After Kuzumbo, it's on to Nuwa. We said she was going to get a bit of love thanks to backdoor protections being removed on her clay minions. Shining Metal, increased magical power scaling from 50% to 65%. And also, when this is exploded with the minions involved, we've decreased the minion explode magical power scaling from 30% to 25% to factor in that.
Yeah, so this essentially makes Shining Metal just better on its own. It'll scale a little bit better on its own, and then when you combine it with the minions, it still has a higher top-end damage.
Yep.
I think even if you detonate all three, they don't actually work the way that they all just explode together. It's mainly the pen that they provide that gives all the damage, and so this should make her just more potent overall, which was the kind of change we wanted for someone that got backdoor protections removed.
Okay. Next on the list is Osiris.
Yeah.
Is that a god?
Yeah, this one I'm actually really excited for.
Okay, why are you excited for it?
I don't know, I just like... There's something about characters that have like these high skill caps of like you have to know how to chain your auto attacks correctly and cancel properly. You have to land a whole bunch of skill shots and like sequence to actually do really well. There's something about these characters I just like.
Well, let's go through Osiris, shall we? Sickle Strike, first of all. Increase the damage from 60 to 220 is now going to be 60 to 240, but the power scaling of this is going to go up by 10% as well, from 30% to 40%. Not only that, we're going to have Spirit Flail as well, which is going to have the damage change on this as well. 80 to 280, it's now 70 to 290, so smaller bottom end, higher top end. But also the physical power scaling of this has gone up from 50% to 75%. Biggest focal point I can see is power scaling has gone up, so building more damage would allow more damage.
Yeah, it's essentially, Osiris has a problem where his early game is really good, especially if you can cleave a lot of your auto attacks, you can poke effectively. And that's actually why, because he got extra scaling, his rank 1 of his Spirit Flail came down a little bit. But his top end is a little bit higher, so his build choices are a little bit varied. Right now, you have to go like a chain-sized chainsaw, which doesn't give you enough defenses and doesn't really give you enough damage. You go pure tankiness, but then you're not contributing as much to the fight. So now he can build a little bit more damage in his kit. His build options are a little bit more open, and that should hopefully bring him a little bit more success in the late game.
Okay. Well, next up is Ratatoska. What's the focal point with Ratatoska right now?
I think the focal point for Ratatoska is to remove some of the kind of benefits, like free bonuses, like ease to land of his ultimate. Stuff like him getting reduced dark cooldown, making sure that like he can't just really dominate the early game jungle because he can buy the acorn quickly.
Okay.
Which is, there's no damage adjustments here. They're all changes to like his functionality.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the functionality changes to Ratatoska then. The Acorn of Yggdrasil. First of all, increase the cost of the Acorn of Swiftness from 500 to 700, so that's the tier 2 part of the Acorn, just so you know. The Acorn itself remains at 1600 though at the top end.
Yes.
It's not going to be any sort of drop off there, so it's an extra 200 gold.
Yeah, it'll slow down your ability to buy it as quickly in the jungle at the start.
Okay. And then on top of that, Dart, we've decreased the cooldown reduction from Flurry of and Acorn Blast from 2 seconds to 1 second per god hit. And not only that, through the Cosmos, the ultimate, reduced the landing radius from 25 to 20. So it's not going to be as big of a range where it can hit your whole team.
Yep, it can't hit your whole team. There's more juke potential. Ratatoska players have to be a little more skillful with where they choose to land because they can't just get everyone. That's what a lot of these things are, is Ratatoska could dash in, and then he was kind of free to get a whole bunch of bonus and benefits.
Yeah.
And then he could get out really quickly. He has to be a little more careful now. When he ults, he has to be a little bit more like cautious of where he's landing. And then when he's out early in the jungle, he can't rely on getting the acorn as quickly as he currently is.
Okay. That's Ratatoska. Next up is Sol. We mentioned we were going to be looking at Sol as time went on after moving the Fatalis effect on her Disapparate. Well, these are some of the changes we're going to be looking at doing. Radiance, first of all. We fixed an issue where this wasn't proccing on heal effects. We have, however, decreased the cooldown from 15 seconds to 13 seconds. But not only that, this used to heal 5, 10, all the way up to 25% of missing health at ranks as you level it. Instead, it's going to be 25% at all ranks now, to try and give it a little bit more sustain. Because
this one's kind of a we talked about this before on the show, but like this double scaling factor where it's 5% at rank 1, but your health is also 600 at like the early levels of the game, and so you're not healing that much, and then it scales at 25 and your health's getting bigger, so it's this double scaling factor. And especially because it's missing health, which means you have to be low to really get any benefit from this. We just want to make it 25% at all ranks, so it still has this additional tool.
And not only that, we're going to touch Supernova as well. Here you can see at the bottom, increase the damage of successive hits from 20% to 30%. So a 10% damage increase for more damage being done from Supernova.
Yeah, these are all targeted to give Sol a little bit better heat generation with a reduced cooldown and radiance, a little bit more sustain. Her ultimate damage, if she actually lands a whole bunch, especially on like grouped up people, it's going to do a lot more. And not focus on like increasing Stellar Burst damage, which can be a point of frustration if it gets too strong. And so this should help Sol just be kind of a better laner overall.
Awesome. Next on the list is up to T now. Terra is the first one on this list, and we're going to be looking at her monolith here. A lot of changes overall with Terra going backwards and forwards with nerfs, and now, well, there's a bit of a change here. We'll talk about this one through after I've said it. Fix an issue where monolith would could be damaged by minions or jungle monsters, as well as Monolith now deals 70 to 200 damage immediately when broken by force of nature, and reduce the damage per tick from 15 to 35 to 10 to 18. Okay, so overall, just explain this for me. There's a burst component on impact now, as well as still the root and the dot damage after, but the dot damage is less because you've got a burst component.
Yes, and so I think overall, actually, if you were to stand in all the dot, you would actually take 20 more damage than currently is in live.
Right.
But the burst component up front really makes it so that like you can actually hit it effectively. It was kind of this weird thing where Terra's been really valued for her heal component really heavily. That heal component kind of made her this ult bot, and for a character that has this passive that lets you brawl really effectively, you have stuns, you can control people.
Slows,
She just didn't have kind of like enough team fight damage that was coming out, and so we instead of bringing back some of the heal components that we nerfed previously, we're just moving her a little bit more of that brawly direction where she can have her damage up front, especially because she punches through that thing, explodes and roots you, but it doesn't deal any damage immediately. So it kind of makes sense that it would deal a little bit of damage up front.
And that's a little look at Terra and the end of the patch notes. Not really, there's one more.
Yeah, we have one more.
Tough is also on this list for a little bit of a balance change this patch, and the change is going to be Evade and Punish. Evade and Punish now stops on the first enemy god hit. Does that mean it doesn't penetrate anymore?
It does not penetrate until it hits a god. Yes.
Rejoice.
Yeah, this one was, there was a lot of proposed kind of fixes that were going to be, that were like talked about and people were just kind of throwing around. And I think the one that we ended up really liking was that this didn't pass through anymore, because we saw that Thoth was really struggling. We added the stun component, and we saw that players who, especially who had mastered him, were doing now okay and performing okay, kind of within like what other characters do. Players who were still struggling with him were generally players who were newer to him or just weren't as experienced. And so for hard mage, that kind of makes sense. But the absolute top end that it was causing, where like you could stun through 3 people and stun the whole enemy team, that's something that's generally reserved to like you have to be in melee range, you have to get really close, or it has to be an ultimate ability. But this is happening on a relatively low cooldown dash. And so that's no longer the case. So that extreme top end is now limited. So
it'll stun one person and deal damage to the first person it hits, but if it's through minions, it will pass through all the minions and still hit a god at the end potentially as well.
That's exactly how it'll work.
Awesome. And that's a little look at Toth and the final god that got changed this patch.
That is actually all the balanced patch notes.
It's not been a bad patch.
Yeah, we hit rituals, a few items, changed some aura stuff, a whole bunch of god balance changes. I think overall it's pretty solid.
And you guys did see as well, there's sort of a few things planned for the next patch as well, 4.4. You saw AJ tweeting about that to do with things like Jean-Qui and things.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever these balance patches are coming out, there's generally like a plan, like 4 or 5 patches kind of ahead of time of like blue skulls that want to be hit. And one of the ones that was being discussed was a Jean-Qui buff, and that ended up going to 4-4.
Well, we'll see that in 4.4 as well. But a lot of nice changes coming in this patch as well. Your favorite thing, Pom Pom?
I think the Osiris change. I just like the idea that this mechanically challenging character might see a little bit more play because he actually has kind of more build paths in the late game.
Awesome. Well, we'll see how Osiris does in the later patch. This is due out. Do we have a PTS date yet?
PTS might be going out today.
Okay.
I know there were a few things they're still working through, so it might be a little bit delayed, but it will go out this week, and people will be able to actually start playing the Capture the Flag mode.
I was going to say the Capture the Flag mode will be available on PTSV to play, as well as all the balance changes as well going forward. Thanks so much for joining me, Pom Pom. That's all we've really got time for in 4.3 for the time being, though. I do want to give a shout out again, though, for helping us reach 1 million subscribers on YouTube as well. Make sure you check out the information there if you're interested in the announcer packs that were being ongoing recently that you can get your hands on. But from us at Hi-Res Studios, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and we'll see you all playing Smite. Peace.
No.